Welcome back, everybody, for tonight's final round here of FNM at NRG. I'm your host, Andrew Donnelly. With me, as always, my co-host,
Matt Dow.
Matt Dow. What are we getting into tonight? We've got fan favorite Dan Cardenas on his Green Red Monsters list versus newcomer Dan Gault, who we haven't had on stream before.
Nope, he has been coming around, though, pretty often. I've seen him in the store past couple of weeks.
Sure.
So, seems like a nice dude. Haven't played him yet, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Looks like they're doing the old rock, paper, scissors there. With Dan going first, maybe? If they're deciding
So
on...
I believe that's Paper Tiger versus Rock Lobster, so I believe
yeah.
Paper Tiger wins, so Dan Gault. I mean, we can't say Dan going first because they're both
Oh, no,
Dans.
that's Scissor Lizards, right?
Is it Scissor Lizards?
Yeah, it's Scissor Lizards. Rock Lobster.
Yeah, Rock
Scissor.
Lobsters,
But
Scissor Lizards,
Dan
Paper Tiger.
Dan got Scissor Lizards.
Did he? It's so hard to tell.
Dan Cardenas got Scissor Lizards. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Dan Gault got Paper Tiger.
I'll believe you, man.
All right, well, we'll see. We'll see if that's how they decided to go first, if they were just having some fun.
These players are X1 right now, so they're 2-1.
Okay.
Going into the final round here.
Potential for...
Playing for maybe second or third place in this Rage game in FNM.
I'm really excited to see this Green Red Monsters list from Dan, because I know he's playing quite a few Fate Reforged cards in there.
Nah, he told me he's not playing any.
Really?
Yeah, Dan Cardenas is not playing a single one.
Get out of here.
Nope.
Not even a single Fate Reforged card.
Not a single
Come
one.
on.
Dan Gault, on the other hand, man.
Playing a ton?
Playing some...
Is he playing some spice?
Oh, yeah.
What spice, do you know? Can you give us a hint? Is it in the sideboard or is it in the main deck?
It's in the sideboard.
Oh, jeez.
I only saw his sideboard. I didn't see his main deck.
Okay.
But the sideboard's got some spice.
So we're going to have to wait for game 2 before we see the spice, huh?
He's got some, ferocious kitty cats in his sideboard.
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
So, Dan Gault going to take a mulligan down to 6, though, which is kind of unfortunate for this teamer deck, which does have a little bit of trouble with his mana, but looks like he's got pretty decent mana here. So, turn 1 Elvish Mystic for Dan Cardenas. Can't ask for much more than that. Let's see what Dan Gault's first play is. He's going to play a Forest and pass the turn back.
Now, this is unlike the Tamir mid-range deck we saw earlier, this is a Tamir aggro list, so kind of a different approach.
So, Dan Cardenas is going to play a Courser of Krufix and then play reveal his top card, which unfortunately we can't see. Dan Gault's going to play a
Hair of the
Wilds for his turn 2. Dan going to apparently had a mountain on top off the Courser, play that mountain, trigger the Courser, gain life, and now he has this red source that he was needing. He's going to cast a Crater's Claw, targeting Arrow of the Wilds and attack for 3.
I'm actually okay with that play. I think getting rid of the Air of the Wilds is a strong move.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
You don't like that?
Nah.
That card's a pesky card to leave around.
Dan Gault's going to play Wooded Foothills. Temple of Abandon. My bad. It's going to scry. So now he has a red source. Scry that card to the bottom. Doesn't want it. Going to play a Radiclaw Mystic here. So things are shaping up pretty good for Dan Gault.
Would this be a more opportune target for your Crater's Claws, the Radiclaw Mystic? Or?
I don't like either. None of those feel like great targets to me.
Sure.
But I don't know. That's probably just because I have Lightning Strike in my deck.
Okay.
I'd rather save the Crater's Claws for maybe doming you or killing Polucano, something like that. But Dan's going to play a Temple of Abandon of his own and scry. Looks like he is going to leave that card on top, and now he's going to attack in for 3. Dan Gault's going to take it, go to 14. Dan's going to have a follow-up Sylvan Caryatid.
Nice.
So Dan Gault's going to untap, hopefully. Maybe not. Maybe he's just... Alright, so he's going to draw and then untap.
Sure.
Let's see what his follow-up here is. Looks like he's probably going to play this Polucranos.
There he is.
So Big Daddy Polucranos. Unfortunately, he does not have the untapped land to hold up the Stubborn Denial that's in his hand. Although I don't know how great it is against Dan Cardenas' deck. Imagine he only has a couple targets in Lightning Strike and Claytor's Claws.
Yep.
There's another Temple of Abandon. Ship another card to the bottom. Flip over a card. Which still can't see.
Doing some math here.
Doing some math.
How's he going to get around the Polucranos is the question, I guess, right?
He could have Crater's Claws it, but that's out of the question.
Yeah.
Or what?
Or
so he's gonna,
his own Polyk?
no, I think that's a Xenagos.
Ah, okay.
So that was the math he's doing. So he's going to plus the Xenagos. It's going to go to 4. Then he's going to tap for 5 and play a Stormbreath Dragon.
I'm also okay with that card.
And attack Dan down to 10. So this is why I like holding the Creator's Clause. It allows us just to be a little bit more aggressive. Right now we could just dome him for 1 million.
For a lot.
So
yeah.
Probably more than the 3 damage we got in by attacking. So Dan Gault can untap. He has an awkward hand of a bunch of 4 drops and stuff like that. But he's going to play a pretty decent one. Pretty decent blocker for Snowbreath Dragon here in Ash Cloud Phoenix. Although the problem is Dan has 7 mana right now, so he could just monsters the Snowbreath Dragon.
I mean, if he pluses the Xenagos, he has a lot.
Yeah, then he has 1 million mana.
Yeah, he's got a ton.
Dan Gault going to attack Dan. Go to Dan Cardenas and knock him down to 18. Dan Cardenas going to untap and
flip. What did he draw?
Draw from turn. I don't know what he drew, but I imagine he'll just monstrous here and then hit Dan Gault for quite a few. Now he'll definitely monstrous after finding to Nykthos. So he has the capability to make 5 mana off the Nykthos. Just gonna tap that for green. Gonna make 5 green mana. Let's see.
6, 7.
And 2 more to monster Stormbreath Dragon.
Take damage equal number of cards in your hand, and he gets 3+1/+1 counters.
Yep. So
Dan Gault looks like he's got 2.
Yeah, Dan has 3. He's going to go to 7. No, he doesn't have that many. He doesn't have 6 cards in his hand, right?
I do not believe so.
He might have actually 6 cards in his hand.
Really?
Yeah. And then Dan's going to attack after plussing Xenagos to make a Satyr.
Block there.
Block there, and Dan Gault's going to take 5.
Yep.
And sure enough,
that's it.
That's the game.
Interesting. So what really are we looking? I mean, Dan Gault's deck kind of playing the cards I somewhat expected. I wasn't sure of the Rattleclaw Mystic. I guess they can run that and Sylvan Caryatid, correct?
Yeah, they could. I don't know. I kind of like Rattleclaw Mystic better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it provides you all of the mana?
It provides you all the colors you need. It's a 2/1. It doesn't block as well, but it attacks better, and you're playing an aggro deck, so you want to be a little bit more aggressive, where Caryatid's a little bit more defensive.
Sure. So what spice are we going to see from Dan Gault? Bring me the spice.
I'm going to make you wait for the spice.
I don't want to.
Dan
I don't want to wait.
So
I want to know what the spice.
Show some patience, man. We got actually some spice in Dan Cardenas' board for you.
Get out of here.
We got one I know you'll like.
Oh, jeez.
So Dan Cardenas' sideboard is 1 Arc Lightning, 3 Anger of the Gods, an additional Crater's Claws, an Arbor Colossus, 2 Back to Nature, 3 Reclamation Sages, 2 Barrage of Boulders, which I like. And this one's for you, buddy.
What?
I know you like your healing salves.
Is it?
Dan Cardenas says 2 Feed the Clan.
Get out of here. Is he playing? I was talking to CJ earlier, who is on camera. I think that will be a card now.
All right. Well, I still think you're crazy.
Okay.
It's still a healing salve. But,
okay. Healing salve that +2. But all right. What are we bringing in then? If you're Dan, Crater's Claws are coming in.
Crater's Claws, I think, comes in.
Yep.
I like Barrage of Boulders.
I like Barrage of Boulders too.
I don't like Reclamation Sage. I might actually bring in like Arbor Colossus. I saw Ash Cloud Phoenix. Arbor Colossus matches up nicely with that card. I don't like Anger of the Gods. Arc Lightning, maybe we could do some sweet things where we could 2-for-1 him if we get an Air and then a Rattleclaw Mystic.
Yeah, but then what are you taking out for the Arc Lightning? Like what are you removing to replace it? Because you're already bringing in the Crater's Claws, assuming you're going to keep the Crater's Claws that you already have in the deck in. I feel the same situation.
Yes, you raise a good point.
Well, I mean, the same situation that you're bringing in the Anger of the Gods is probably the same situation you're bringing in the Arc Lightning, in which case you will not need the Crater's Claws, right?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I don't know. If I'm bringing in Arc Lightning and Crater's Claws, I'm just looking to load up on more removal.
Sure.
But I don't know. I just like the spice of Arc Lightning in that it hits Ash Cloud Phoenix, it hits Rattleclaw Mystic, and then it can also hit one of Dan's 2 drops. So
I think the potential there, like you said, seeing the Ash Cloud Phoenix, I'd probably go Arbor Colossus.
Yeah, Barrage of Boulders though is better. All right, let's get to Dan Gault's sideboard here really quickly before they start it. He has 3 Hornet Nests, 2 Back to Natures, 2 Chandras, 2 Disdainful Strokes, Karanos.
Oh,
he's got 1 Wild Slash, 2 Tamir Battle Rages.
What?
2 Tamir Sabertooths.
What is a Tamir Battle Rage?
Gives double strike and trample.
Is that what it does?
Yeah.
Tamir Battle Rage.
Alright, so these guys shuffled up pretty quickly here, but Dan Cardenas once again has a perfect opening with a Forest into an Elvish Mystic. Dan Gault has 2 Yavimaya Coasts, and looks like he's going to play a Rattleclaw Mystic.
Bad. So this is where I'm okay with Rattleclaw here too. Well, no, I'm not, because if it dies this turn...
No, it looks like Dan has a Goblin Rattle turn 2, which is pretty good. I think that's an ideal start for Dan.
Yeah.
Cardenas, that is. So Dan Gault's going to take 1, go to 18. He's going to untap. And he, once again, looks like he doesn't have another land, but he does have a Hornet Nest, which is actually not that bad.
Pretty decent right here.
Actually pretty good, which is a card I would have definitely brought in. I think it's actually really good here. Pretty much roadblocks Dan's ground attackers. So it looks like he's going to play that Hornet Nest. No, he plays a Savage Knuckleblade. No, he decides, never mind, I take that back. I'm a liar. Takes these backsies. I think he's going to figure out that he needs to... No, he plays an Heir of the Wilds.
Okay.
And then he...
Notices it costs 2. Says, I'm okay. It costs 2.
So maybe he doesn't have a Hornet Nest in hand. Because I would have definitely played a Hornet Nest there.
Yeah.
Because it's just super good against Dan's board. He can't attack at all on the ground.
Does he have it in the side, though, the Hornet Nest?
He does have 3 Hornet Nests in the side.
In the side. Maybe he didn't bring them in.
I imagine he brought it in. That's probably this...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Here come the Goblins again.
So
Heir of the Wilds chump.
Yep. Take 1. Go to 17. And Dan Gault's going to draw for turn. I believe he drew a land there. Hopefully for him. He did. It's a Mutavault? No, I'm just kidding. It's a forest.
It's a Mutavault. It's Stirring Wildwood? Holy crap.
So Dan has access to 4 mana here, but he doesn't have double red for the Ash Cloud Phoenixes in his hand. He can cast Savage Knuckleblade that he showed Dan last turn.
Yeah.
But I still think if he has a Hornet Nest, we got to play a Hornet Nest. Card is just so good right now. Dan can't attack. Nope, Savage Knuckleblade. Showed it to him. And then Dan attacks with Ferocious Triggered Heir of the Wilds.
I like that.
For 3.
It's a good attack.
Dan Cardenas goes to 17. He's going to untap, and looks like he drew a mountain for the turn. So hopefully we fade Stormbreath Dragon, but it does not look like we fade Stormbreath Dragon.
Nope, he's here.
He's here.
Here he comes.
Dan's going to attack with the 2 Goblins and the Stormbreath Dragon.
I have to imagine the Knuckleblade blocks one of the Goblins?
Yes,
no?
I'd imagine so.
Yep. Block a Goblin.
Yep, block a Goblin. Take
Go down
5.
to 11.
Go to 11.
Boy, these timely Stormbreaths.
These Stormbreaths
They
are a good
will
card,
get
man.
you.
I still think Ash Cloud Phoenix matches up pretty nicely with that card, though. So
We're seeing the curse of Tamir Mana again. Yeah.
Tamir Mana.
Tamir Mana.
Darn you, Tamir Mana.
Tamir Mana is what gets us all the time.
So Dan might have to race somehow here. I don't think he's in a very good position.
I mean, he
to
could
race.
turn on the Knuckleblade to start racing, but then you lose a blocker.
He has another Knuckleblade in hand, so I imagine that's what's going to get.
Boy, what if he kept the blue up and faked jump on Heir of the Wilds to jump my Heir of the Wilds, kill your Stormbreath Dragon. That's if jump was
Jump's not legal
even.
in this format.
Yeah, if jump was even
I don't think
remotely
they printed
legal.
Jump since revised or 4th edition, so maybe 5th edition.
You guys didn't play with jump?
No, not even. I didn't even play with that card when I was 8.
Really?
Terrible.
Oh wow.
All right, so
Are we gonna?
Dan Gault's going to attack for 7. It looks like Dan Cardenas does not block,
We see the pump.
so I think he pumped.
Ooh.
Oh, Tamir
no
Battle Rage!
way!
Did he? So he pumped.
He
Makes it a 6/6.
wait. Hold on.
It's only. Oh, he attacked. Did he? No, he can't attack with everything.
He didn't attack. Is he?
No, he attacked.
But did Dan not block?
Dan didn't block, I don't think. But I don't think this is lethal. I think this is only 15. Right? Does Tamir Battle Rage give...
It gives him trample, double strike.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
So that's only going to be... That's 12, 15. So he pumps,
Yeah.
makes his Savage Knuckleblade a 6/6, gives it double strike. That's
12 plus
and then
3,
plus 3
so
puts,
15.
Yeah, 15.
Puts
him
Dan to
in
2.
then
Holy cow!
Die on the swing back.
Oh, jeez.
No, 4 from
4.
Rattmaster, 6. Yeah, I think we just died.
5, 6.
Or Dan.
Or he plays another. Oh, he plays a Sarkin.
Same
Okay,
thing.
so
Another
now
dragon.
you're just in trouble.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm gonna. Even the elf comes in.
Yep, and that's the game.
Holy
So Dan Gault did have the Hornet Nest in hand. I saw it there. I don't know why he didn't play it. Card's pretty good. Although Tamir Battle Rage was pretty awesome there.
I mean, Tamir Battle Rage.
It's a shame he didn't just get him and be like, "Cool, dude, I'm gonna kill you."
I mean, holy cow! So for as I was new to the card, we'll go over it. Tamir Battle Rage is an instant from Fate Reforged. Red 1. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Ferocious, that creature also gains trample.
Yeah, so the double strike trample thing is kind of weird.
That's pretty sweet.
The double strike is sweet.
Yeah.
But the trample is kind of weird.
Well, I think the trample is relevant if you're... I mean, even if you swing in with the Knuckleblade and you use that to pump your Heir of the Wilds, I mean, even that's good, because now you've got a double striker that's got trample that's a death toucher, so he's killing something and then just pouring the rest of the damage through.
Yeah.
For those who don't know the weird interaction of double strike trample, which is probably one of my most disliked interactions in Magic, I think the way that is handled in the rules is not good. I don't like that.
So it's like you double strike, so you first strike.
Correct.
So you do your damage and then you trample over.
And then
if you kill the creature,
you still trample over.
Now the creature is dead, so it has 0 toughness. So
Correct.
you then trample over for that.
For the full amount.
That makes complete sense. I don't know why you don't like that. What, do you think my creatures continue to be blocked? So what you're saying is you don't like trample. Because you have a problem with trample.
I'm okay with trample. I'm not okay with trample plus double strike.
Why? You just explained the problem to me.
Because in my head, I picture some asinine scenario where, like, the creature I'm blocking, they play say the creature I'm blocking is like Dagon Runeblade or whatever his name, and he's got Trample and Rampage 2. So now he's got double strike. So now he's huge, and I'm being hit with a ton of damage even though I blocked the guy. That's nuts.
So
he's blocked.
You have a problem with trample.
Okay, sure, I have a problem with trample. I have a problem. First of all, I got a problem with a lot of things.
Yeah, sounds like
trample being one of them.
Trample is sweet, man.
Trample is cool.
No, I hate it. Kessig Wolfront? Oh, God, that card was the worst.
That card was good.
No, it was awful, man.
Oh,
you'd stabilize and you'd be like, okay, I got an Augur of Bolas. I'm good, man. And then they'd play like a Kessig Wolfront and you'd be like, yep, and I'm dead.
In what deck are you playing Augur of Bolas to stabilize?
What? Dude, the blue-white control deck? The blue-white-red control deck?
The blue-white-red control... Do you mean the Geist Angel deck?
No, there's no Geists. That card was too expensive. I'm talking Resto, Snapcaster.
Okay, both good cards.
Augur of Bolas.
And you're not playing Geist in this deck.
No, Augur of Bolas. That card was good.
What did it feel like when your opponent prime-timed?
No, I didn't play that.
You didn't play
that card was long gone.
That card was pretty good. Primetime was good. So what... I'm interested to see... We didn't get to see a lot. Those games were actually pretty explosive. That Dan Gault's... kind of out of nowhere double strike trample my 6/6 was pretty nuts.
Yeah, except he did die in the crackback, so it wasn't that.
He did. I mean, but to be fair, on the same side, Dan Cardenas' Green Red Monsters deck, which we know is explosive. I mean, that deck can push out a ton of damage. I mean, between Crater's Claws, Stormbreath Dragon, Sarkin, Pelucranos. I mean,
turn 2 Rattmaster when your opponent doesn't have a turn or a turn 2 play is
correct.
A Mana X on it. Is also pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's definitely good. I'm just surprised. I wanted to see a little bit more from Dan Gault. I wanted to see some 1 or 2 blue spells, like a bounce would have been great. Some type of void snare effect. I mean,
yeah, I don't know if he has any of those in this deck, but yeah, he kind of just got ran over there, which is unfortunate because he was doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And
sure,
he had some sweet new cards, which is awesome. Always nice to throw in some new cards for the first standard event.
So, out of the new cards that you saw tonight, what really made an impact? Anything? Was there anything you saw that you actually liked?
It kind of makes me sick to my stomach to say this.
Yeah.
The Silumgar.
It
was actually pretty sweet.
The pug-faced dragon is actually pretty good. Yeah.
But outside of that, in the instances I saw them, nothing really stood out to me as like, oh my god, this card is going to be really, really good.
I think the biggest one for me tonight was probably the Phoenix we saw in round 2.
Yeah, actually that card.
Silumgar was good.
Silumgar, I take that back.
Okay.
You're so trash. No. The Flame-Made Phoenix, you're right. I thought that was the best card
I think that was the best Fate Reforged card we saw tonight. I think we can both still successfully say that Abzan cards are very good.
Yeah, Siege Rhino's still good.
Siege Rhino is still good.
Yep.
It's still a good card. Hero's Downfall, still a good card. Thoughtseize is still a good card. I mean, these are all still very powerful cards. I really like to talk to Ben later and see why he didn't play the token producer, the white. I know he has them. He purchased them from me, but I mean that's such a good card in that deck. And after watching his matches today, because twice he was on camera, and we'll have the highlights up tomorrow, so anybody who's just tuning in can also see him. I mean, I just like that card. That card seems so good in this deck, and I'm not happy with the other one. I'm not happy with the Soul Fire.
No, I didn't like that card. I thought that card was pretty.
It was underwhelming, right?
It was underwhelming, and once again, I don't know if it's better than Seeker of the Way or not.
Sure.
It always having Lifelink is nice, but its inability to push through a bunch of damage is kind of not that great. Monastery Mentor is definitely, I think, a good card in the Jeskai tokens deck.
I would think so also. So maybe, hopefully next time in FNM, after people kind of have a chance to maybe draft the set and pick up some more cards, we see something like that.
Yeah.
Mastery of the Unseen is another card that we didn't see tonight that I think requires kind of a specific deck, but a deck nonetheless. And then I think the blue-green Manifest decks too are kind of slow to start, but I'm sure eventually you will see one or two of those. Those are also decks that I'm looking forward to see in the format.
Yeah, Manifest is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
There are quite a few good Manifest cards too, so it's very possible.
I mean,
you still need to compete with Siege Rhino.
That's true. The big green mythic is the one that everyone's afraid of, right? Because it makes Crux of Fate essentially a dead card.
Yeah, and makes all sweepers pretty much a dead card except for Perilous Vault.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But I mean, I still think Valorous stance is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Not only in the heroic deck, just because it's like a removal, but you also get indestructibility. But I think it's actually pretty good in other decks because it's removal. But it just like cards with two modes, I think, are super
really
good.
Did you have a chance to really try any of the sieges at pre-release? I know you had the white siege.
I did have Citadel Siege.
And how was that?
That card was pretty sweet for me when I played it. I think that it was good in any situation I wanted to be in. So I was like, I think it's actually probably pretty good. It could be potentially pretty good in Standard.
Yeah.
In like a sort of like a weird control deck where you at least have some creatures that can stabilize an attack, just because it allows you to be like to Icy Manipulator if you want to be defensive. But then if your opponent isn't really doing anything, you can also be somewhat aggressive by like bolstering, or like not even bolstering, just putting counters
on creatures. Yeah, for sure.
I think Frontier Siege is actually probably playable and constructed due to the disgusting things it can do with mana.
Yep.
Although I would never play it, touch it with a 10-foot pole.
How did you? Well, it's in green, so you're not playing that. How did you feel about? How did you feel about Frontier Siege and Hornet Queen?
Yeah, that's fine, but I think like that's like that's just so cute to me. I mean, how many times do you lose when you cast a Hornet Queen anyways, you know?
Not often.
If you get a Hornet Queen in play, like,
your
opponent isn't going to attack you.
It's an interesting interaction, for sure.
It's interesting.
It's definitely... how about the Black Siege? I know people were interested in using that in kind of the control deck that we saw, like Noah was playing today, the blue-black control. A lot of people were saying having the ongoing stab wound effect to stabilize against the faster decks was...
It's better than stab wound.
Yeah, I agree.
Drain. I don't even know what does the first mode do? It's like Grave Digs?
I believe the first one Grave Digs, but we can pull up the card here and take a look.
I don't know how good that card is in Constructed. I think it's really good in Limited, though. I mean, just being able to drain for 2 every turn is pretty sweet.
So on the cons side of it, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to hand. The dragon side, at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So the first effect seems okay in certain decks, but I don't know if it's better than the Tasigur that people are liking. The Dragons mode, I think, is definitely the mode that you run it in, especially in a deck like Noah's.
Yeah, but I don't know. It seems too sort of kind of slow to me.
Too slow still?
In Constructed.
Yeah.
It costs 5 mana, and you're going to then drain your opponent for 2 every turn. It sort of seems slow. Like I said, I think it's more of a limited card.
Sure. I mean, in Limited, it seems
I think
stellar.
Monastery Siege could actually be a constructed card.
Sure.
1, it costs 3 mana. Allows you to loot, and then just a second ability makes it so spells your opponent's cast that target you cost 2 more.
Cost 2 more, correct.
So,
and then the other mode is draw a card, discard a card, correct.
I think that has constructed potential.
I think it does
just
too.
because it allows you to draw and loot, and then it also has play in a burn deck or whatever.
Yeah.
It has some application there. So
I was discussing earlier in a blue-white controlled shell, being able to run this guy, Ojuda, the Soul of Winter. So you're essentially playing the siege, as we were just talking about, running this guy, and then making him a Frost Titan. I mean, you have a 5/6 flying vigilance that can't be targeted by spells unless they pay 2 extra, and he taps down. Prevents it from untapping. I mean, it's a good finisher if you're looking for something along those lines.
Yeah, for sure. It is a good finisher. I don't know if it's better than Pearl Lake Ancient.
You're still on the Pearl Lake Ancient, even after looking at
that card
Pugface?
has flash and can't die.
Oh, jeez.
Sign me up.
But we just saw Silumgar.
Yeah, that card has better application against Elspeth, but flash and can't die.
I guess that's true. If you're on the Radiant Fountain bounce plan,
yeah,
which I guess is something, and you're not playing
totally
against what was it, the Tamir Savage Mark, or what was it? If you're not
Tamir,
playing against
Battle Rage,
the Tamir Battle Rage, and getting double struck to death, I guess that's something. Well, that was the final round for tonight's FNM. We'll be signing off. Seeing you next year. Next time, next Friday.
Not next year.
Not next year.
We'll be back next Friday.
That's next Friday.
And don't forget, in 3 weeks from now?
3 weeks. What do we have coming up?
Oh man.
2 weeks.
2 weeks? No,
February,
it's 3 weeks.
February 7th. No, 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
It is 2 weeks.
It is 2 weeks.
Man,
oh,
time
geez.
flies when you're having fun.
We've got SCG regionals. That's
2 weeks.
$5,000 cash prize tournament.
Don't come out in 3 weeks. Spend time with your, partner if you have one on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Or with your friends if you don't.
But if you have February 7th off, make sure you come out and play in this awesome tournament. Make sure you pre-register first of all, because the first 200 players not only get the sweet SCG Regional Championships Squirrel Mat, but they also get a pack of 4 foil Squirrel tokens.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Pretty sweet. Andrew and I will both be there. So if you're there, stop and say hi.
Swing by the booth.
Swing by the booth. Tell us how terrible we are. Maybe throw tomatoes at us. No, don't do that.
Shake our hands.
Shake our hands.
Let us know what we can do to get better.
Right. Don't throw tomatoes. That's there. We'll be streaming on a nice basketball court.
Definitely.
I hope on a basketball court. Maybe on a soccer field, but probably a basketball court. So as I've said before, bring your b-ball gear.
Bring your shoes. We'll shoot some hoops afterwards.
Yeah, after we start breaking down some tables, you can now break down some tables.
Do a little 3v3.
Shoot some baskets. Maybe play a game of horse. Maybe some knockout.
Regardless, if you have basketball gear or not, make sure you head over to nerdragegaming.com and pre-register for this event, because you definitely want to be one of the first 200 people to sign up. You believe me when I say, even if you're not impressed by the mat, you will be impressed by the tokens. If you play Force of Will or you play Brainstorm, these are tokens that you want. They are ridiculous.
Wait, so can I play the Squirrel tokens at SCG events
as
Force of Will or Brainstorm?
I don't believe so. It'd be amazing if you tried. I would, if I was the table judge, I'd let it slide.
What a beating. What can I use these tokens for?
I mean, you could use them for Young Pyromancer tokens. You can use them as Rabblemaster tokens. I'd just use them. I would be hard-pressed to believe if I have a Young Pyromancer on the field and I cast a spell and I put Force of Squirrel token into play, that the table judge would remove that token.
No, they would.
I would probably slap their hand. That's unfair to me, SCG. These are your tokens. I want my Force of Squirrel.
Yo, they just need to bring squirrels back.
They don't need it. We had this was a conversation we had last week. And
no,
they don't need
Squirrels of Tarkir.
No, stop.
Wizards, if you're listening, anybody, Squirrels of Tarkir. It would be a sweet switcheroo. Nobody would expect it. We saved Ugin. Oops, we got a bunch of squirrels.
They would have had to made it so when you opened up your Ugin packs at pre-release, it was alternative art like Squirrel Hermit or Acorn Harvest, and then it would have blown people's minds.
Right, with dragons instead of the squirrels.
So it would have been
Strange Hermit just has like a bunch of dragons on his shoulders and stuff. Yeah, now we're talking.
Oh, jeez. All right, guys, we'll catch you later. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Nerd Rage Gaming. Check us out both on Twitter. We'll see you next time.
Later.